Good morning Destiny players and welcome back to another build video. I didn't plan well for the massively extended season, so here's another build I've redone from last year. I do take suggestions and ideas in the comment section below. Funny enough, the last video for this build was made during the last Guardian games, and now we're currently in Guardian games. I am Bladeburger, your local oh Romeo, wherefore you're trying to flow yo kind of guy. Blah blah algorithm do the stuff, you know how it is. Let's begin. This build used to be the strongest Strand build for Titan in the game, before Banner of War was introduced to it and it overtook everything. Insane character control, ability to disable every champion type and leave entire rooms unable to fire back. A lot of Suspend is still very powerful despite nerfs received, and near infinite woven mail is very strong. For exotics we use the Abeyant leap boots. Buffs the Dranger's last aspect from 1 lash to 3 lashes, also increases the range the lashes go out to and how aggressive they track. If you launch it at an enemy, it'll definitely hit. It also gives woven mail when you suspend enemies. Any suspend, not just from the lashes. Very simple exotic, but very powerful. If Banner of War didn't exist, this exotic would be the strongest in the game. In fact, it actually was the strongest before Banner of War was introduced. Take a shot every time Burger complains about Banner of War. It's a lot. For this build, let's take a look at the class stuff. For class, we're on Strand Titan. For Barricade, I personally use the smaller one as it has a quicker cooldown. For Grenade, I use Shackle Grenade. Splits on impact and suspends enemies hit by it. For Aspects, I tried to stay away from Banner of War as it would overtake the build, so I went with Into the Fray. Destroying a tangle or using your super gives Woven Mail a 45% damage resist buff to you and nearby allies. You also get better melee regeneration when you have Woven Mail, which is all the time. We also have Dranger's Lash. Popping a barricade sends out a Strand Lash that suspends enemies hit by it. Each lash can suspend multiple enemies, by the way. For Fragments, Threat of Mind. Killing suspended enemies gives class ability energy. Threat of Warding. Picking up an orb gives Woven Mail. Threat of Continuity. Strand debuffs on enemies last 50% longer. Threat of Wisdom. Killing suspended enemies makes an aura power, 10-second cooldown. Now let's get to stats and weapons. We're going quick here. For stats, prioritize Resilience as it helps you get your class ability back quicker. Otherwise, I'd go Discipline for grenades. Shackles are pretty good. For weapons, I'm personally using a Taraxipos from last year's Guardian games as it has better perks and has a classic contender origin trait, which gives class ability energy on kills. Helps get our class ability faster. Now to the mods. The mods for this build don't lean into either surges or kickstart, focusing more on utility to get their class ability back faster. Let's get to it. On Helmet, Harmonic Targeting. Weapons matching our subclass type get better aim assist and stuff. We also have Harmonic Siphon. Multi-kills with weapons matching our subclass type make an aura power. The third mod here is Hands-On, giving us extra super energy on power melee kills. On Arms, Double Focusing Strike, giving us class ability energy on melee damage. 17% energy with a 7-second cooldown. We also have Heavy Handed, where power melee kills make an aura power with a 10-second cooldown. On Chest Piece, this is all flex slots, so choose whatever you want. On Boots, Strand Weapon Surge, 10% weapon damage with Strand weapons while we have a temporary armor charge. Lasts 10 seconds at default. We also have Insulation, giving class ability energy on orb pickup. The third mod we have is Elemental Charge, where picking up class collectibles gives an armor charge. Destroying tangles does count, so every time you make and destroy a tangle or throw a tangle, you get an armor charge, so 10% free weapon damage. On class item, Outreach, giving melee energy when we use our class ability. Distribution, giving energy to all non-super abilities when we use our class ability. We also have Reaper, using our class ability starts a 10-second timer. Getting a weapon kill in that time makes an aura power. Count how many times I said class ability. With the mods all covered, here's an overview of the build. It took me exactly 69 minutes to make and test this build. Make sure to applaud my sacrifice in the comments below. Link to build in the description too. Now, let's talk about how it plays. Despite the nerf to Suspend, this build is still very strong. It really just puts a halt in combat, stopping incoming shots by tying up all the enemies like it's a bondage video. The mods and class stuff we use mesh well together, making it very easy to get class ability back so we can dish out more Suspend to enemies. We also dip a little bit into surges so that we can readily kill enemies who are suspended. Legendary scouts are pretty awful as they seem to be immune to any sort of buff from Bungie, so more damage is better. Why not use Quicksilver? Well, the Quicksilver is very good, but we want weapons that help class ability out. Quicksilver unfortunately doesn't. Dranger's Lash is an underrated aspect in this current sandbox, because it's all about Banner of War. When Banner of War inevitably gets nerfed, which will be after 10 more Hunter exotics get killed like Young Hamakar's Spine, this build will be the returning king. Make sure to have a build ready for Banner's nerf. I do, and you can with this one. Hi. If you use the build, let me know how it does. I do read all comments. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Bladeburger out.